How's it going? Nathan Parker here for the Bow Hunting Dad. I just wanted to kind of touch base. So 2023 came in. My birthday is in December. Wanted to really go out and do something a little bit out of my element. Wanted to take another whitetail deer, but didn't want to settle for Pennsylvania. I'm going to be headed down to Texas. Now, I have no clue about hunting whitetails in Texas. I just don't. Managements could be differently, but hunting could be done differently, all this kind of stuff. But I wanted to get down there. It's going to be the end of after Christmas. So it's pretty much that week that the rut is just kind of winding down a little bit there in Texas. And we're going to get out there and try to get after a cull or management deer. So we're going to take a flight down and, well, let's get to it. Here I am in camp. Pretty much got here, and as you can see, great lodge, great accommodations. Just got here, looked, there was a 10 pointer a guy shot in the freezer. Tonight what we're going to do is, I just talked to the guide. He said he's going to go, it's actually going to be a rifle blind that we are going into tonight, and what we're going to do is he said there's just been a lot of different deer coming into this blind area. So he said, you know, they could come in close enough to get a shot with a bow. But it's like 72, 73 degrees in here. We just left Pennsylvania and it is 30 degrees, 25 degrees there. So we can't wait to get in the blind and see if we can get our eyes on some South Texas whitetail. One of his breeder bucks, yeah. That's all he is, yeah. I don't have high arms on that. Me. So then we saw some really nice bucks, 2-year-old, 3-year-olds, and they were great bucks, had great growing potential, and they were still pushing 130s, 140s. They were 2-year-olds that literally had kickers coming off of them because the genetics of some of these deer. But this morning we went out and we ended up seeing a bunch of deer. Another breeder ended up showing up. There was like 3 different breeders that were no touch list. So that one showed up, and I mean, he had a drop and everything like that. He was just a beautiful deer, and we just didn't see the management bucks that we were talking about. So tonight we're pulling out of there. There were some great bucks seen, but unfortunately, you know, it's not just coming in to an area and popping one the first night. If you're lucky, hey, that works. But sometimes you actually gotta hunt for these deer. And we're going to a different spot tonight. We're gonna try a different spot, see if there's any cull bucks or management bucks that we can get to. But this brush country is crazy. I mean, when you come out here, everything wants to prick you, stick you, or bite you. There's a lot of cactus up here. They got this brush briar that's just nasty too. But, you know, they got a really nice 9-pointer the other night. They bounced back, you know, they got rifle hunters in here. They have a few bow hunters every now and then that come in here. But, you know, overall, we're going to give it another try tonight and see how it goes. All right, so my guide is pretty used to handling deer and everything like that. He owned a deer farm, and he raises some deer and everything like that. So he really handled it well. We're driving back from our morning hunt, and we look over to the side, and I'm looking. I'm like, man, that just looks like a deer butt. And I could see this deer, and I was like, I think that's a buck making a rub. And I kind of watch, and then I see the deer try to pull away from the tree, and he wasn't pulling away from the tree. I was like, hey, I think there's a deer like stuck in a tree back there or something like that. So we stop, we pull back. Here, there's a buck. He wrapped himself in barbed wire and wrapped himself around the tree. So his antlers were all like bound up in this tree, and he was going in there. So my guide jumps out and ends up clipping this barbed wire. And you can see when people are used to handling deer, they can take care of themselves when it comes down to releasing a deer and letting it go. All right, well, here I am. This is the second evening. We changed some spots, and we're sitting in a blind. This one's a lot tighter than the one we were at yesterday and this morning. But we changed spots just because we weren't seeing the deer that we were after. So we're gonna kind of try to sit here tonight, see if anything pops out. But we're looking for there's a nice 8-pointer, and he actually has a sticker coming off like a dagger point. So me and the girl is in the blind. We just got in, so just sit tight and see what happens. So then later on in the afternoon, the second day, we ended up changing locations. And we really just did not see anything. Not a lot of stuff was moving. I mean, let's just face it, you know, if you're down in South Texas hunting, you're usually going over corn because there is so much foliage there, you know, sitting up in a tree and trying to catch something coming into a food plot or something like that. Not really. Most of the hunts you see on YouTube, boom, you know what, whether they're in a blind or a tree stand or whatever, usually they got some sort of corn out there because that's really the only thing that brings these deer into those open areas during that time. So we just didn't see anything. So we kind of pushed off again and got back to where we originally started. But then there was a quick change up. There was a buck that ended up making the call list, and he did show up in the past 2 nights. So we're going to jump into that blind and check it out. All right, well, here we are, last evening sit of my South Texas trip. Today we are after a buck. He has a little drop time, and he is sunken in the hips. So we don't know why, but he has sunken hips, and that's how we're gonna kind of know we get a kick. A little drop off there and a little kicker that comes out. So we're gonna be looking for him, but this is an area that got some big breeder deer too. So we're probably gonna see a mess of those too as well. But that is our buck that we're after tonight. So stay tuned. We're gonna show you some clips of some big animals, and we're gonna try to get this deer on the ground. Oh yeah, he's being good. Oh yeah, he's being good. Oh yeah, he's gonna see if I can get him to go down. Come on. That is what I am talking about right now. Holy cow, I am pumped up. That buck came out. That was the one we were after. He had these sunken hips, and that was the #1 buck we were after. This is the last day. Last night of the hunt. Just smoked a really nice buck. I am pumped. Shot looked good. I mean, blood is trickling out of that Grim Reaper. Boom, done. So he hauled off pretty good, but he's bleeding pretty good. So I'm excited. Yes, South Texas. Let's go. Well, I'll give you a rundown of exactly what it is. Here we got the blind over here. And then we have some of the corn laid out here. And this buck came in and he just came right down on here. He actually ended up looking at us for a little bit. He was moving the camera around, trying to get on him. Finally, we were able to. Had to slide off the chair a little bit, but he was right here. But real quick arrow recovery right here. Only about 10-15 yards where I said. So, got, looks like air bubbles. That's what you want to, that's what you want. So we just found blood here. It's coming out. We know it's coming out both sides of them. He ended up doing a 45-degree turn, coming right down in here, right through here. In this red clay, it's hard to see because the blood actually balls up into a little, looks like red mud. It's real hard to see, but we got blood here. We got blood all over this thing, so the Grim Reapers did a number on him. So the best thing about, you ever see the blood sprayed up on the northern trees of Pennsylvania? This is how blood is sprayed on the cactus of South Texas. Here at the G5 Ranch, the blood is spraying. See, I'm looking down on the ground. I should have been looking up here. And there he is. He is 25, 26 yards just inside the woods here. Come on by. All right, well, here we are. We are at Pearsall, Texas, at the G5 Ranch. This is a beautiful, beautiful representation of a South Texas buck here. This buck we were after, he had a little bit of a hip showing, and we didn't know why, so it put him on the list, and let's just say he followed the script perfectly. Came out, gave us a 20-yard shot, put it through double lungs, and he just ran through this field, and he's 25 yards just inside the woods here. He has so much characteristic, it's not even funny. He got a little 2-3 inch drop tine right here, and he's bent here. He had a little kicker here, a kicker here, a kicker here, a little kicker here, blading here. I mean, he's just, talk about characteristic of just a great buck. He ended up breaking off his brow. His brow probably was kind of sort of matching here, but beautiful deer. And to take it with my bow, heck yeah, you can't ask anything better than that. So those Grim Reapers tore him up. He was bleeding good, and as you can see by those cactus, just blood was peeling off. It was already drying, but geez, couldn't handle him. But just an amazing, amazing hunt. This is one off the bucket list to get. He's gonna look great on my wall, and we're gonna get him out and get him loaded up, and we're gonna go back, celebrate at that fancy lodge. All right, so pretty much shot this deer. It was a great experience. The Grim Reapers did a number on the deer. It bled out like crazy. You could see by the cactus. It was just sprayed all over the cactus and everything like that. And honestly, it was just a great hunt. And luckily, boom, got a 152 inches that buck scored. He had a bunch of character. I can't wait to get him mounted on my wall. And now I have the South Texas buck checked off the bucket list. This year, we are going to Colorado. We're going to be doing an elk hunt out there. We got an outfitter out there. We're going to jump out, and we're going to do not a late season, but a last week of September archery hunt for a bull elk. So that's what we're going to get after this year. So we're going to be knocking, hopefully, the elk off the bucket list too as well. But for Nathan Parker and the Bow Hunting Dad, I'll see you later. If anybody wants to check us out, we're on Instagram, the Bow Hunting Dad, and also too, we are on Facebook, the Bow Hunting Dad. So look us up and give us a follow, and we're also going to be posting a bunch of stuff on YouTube. So, and that'll be under Parker Outdoor.